This video is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Hello, baseball fans. You're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Well, when he first came up, it was rather obvious when he hit those home runs in the World Series. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. But no, actually, that's the second thing. The first thing is his tremendous defense. And I'll never forget during his rookie year, Maddox would come up to me and say, "Hey, Leo," he said, "would you tell Coach Cox to put that rookie in center field when I pitch?" And then I used to tell Andrew as every year went by, I said, "You should win the Fireman of the Year award." He goes, "Why is that?" I said, "Because you got more saves than any closer we got." And that wasn't a rap on the closers. That's just saying how many games he saved with his defense in center field. So he's great. One of the greatest center fielders I've ever seen. You know, when you start talking to him like in the same category as Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., I mean, that's pretty good company.
Absolutely. You mentioned Maddox. He, Smoltzy, and Glavine have all really campaigned for Andrew's induction here, as well as his other teammates, and I think Braves fans as a whole. But what do you think it says about not only his defense, but the kind of teammate he was that all of these guys for years now have pushed for this?
Well, I think they know his ability. They know how many games he helped us win over a long period of time, and they know how many games he helped them win, the starting pitchers or the pitching staff in general. They realize too how important he was to us. So I think it's not only that, but Andruw was a nice kid. You know, he's always grinning and having a good time, and had the right makeup, had the right mental approach, and he was just a good, fun-loving kid that could play the hell out of center field and hit 400 some home runs. So that's about what you can say. But it was, it's halftime. You didn't know he was around. But I remember one time we lost Glavine, right? And he went to the Mets. So Andruw come in the dugout and he went by me and goes, "You're rooting for him, aren't you?" And I said, "No." I said, "I hope we win 1-0 and he gets a no decision."
Well, you mentioned Willie Mays earlier being in the same kind of category as Andrew in terms of greatest center fielders. I want to say it was Terry Pendleton that overheard Willie Mays tell Andrew that he's the greatest fielder he ever saw. Were you there? Were you around for that? And what do you remember about it?
If Willie Mays said that, which he did, it didn't get any better than that. That's the greatest compliment you can have. And when a guy like Willie Mays says you're the greatest center fielder I've ever seen, or tells somebody that, then that's really icing on the cake. There should be no more arguments. Period. That's it.
Leo, I've been pushing for Andrew to make it into the Hall of Fame for, gosh, at least 5 or 6 years now. I think it's a shame that it's taken this long, along with many others. Um, do you think center field gets overlooked when it comes to the Hall of Fame?
I would imagine so. Uh, I don't know the exact numbers, but there's certain people that are in the Hall of Fame that you feel they were good players, but not great players. And there's certain players that are great, certain players they're great players that are not in yet. It all depends on how. I don't know. I don't know all the politics of it. I don't know all the, the sports writers, etc. Uh, but guys not getting in on the first ballot. Somebody, you're going, wait a minute, he should be on the first ballot. Uh, so it's hard to figure out. I mean, you have to make sure you know one thing. You have to make sure certain players were very good players, very good. But then there were certain players that were Hall of Fame players.
And there were a lot of Hall of Fame players on the team of, I want to say 96. I think there's 8 so far, at least, including, I mean, Bobby Cox as well added on that list. The fact that there was so much talent, especially now that you add Andrew to the mix of Hall of Famers, what does that
Mm-hmm.
say about what the Braves had going in the 90s?
Well, I think it was the greatest baseball run in the history of sport, all sports. And we were able to keep everybody together. You know, Chipper and Andruw were together a long time. The big three were there together a long time, and they were the centerpieces of everything. And I mean, you think back on it, you go, that'll never happen again. And you think back on it and go, how did we do that? You think somewhere there'd be a monkey wrench thrown in there somewhere to where, something would go haywire or go wrong or somebody get hurt, but it never happened. Never happened at all. And then, Sherholtz would make a good trade or make a great addition, and that kept everything going in the same line.
For sure. And we've spoken a lot about Andrew's defense. Obviously, as a pitching coach, that's where it's going to shine the most for you. But the 2005 season, he really broke out and became an MVP caliber player and really carried the team through injuries, that kind of thing. 51 homers. What do you remember about that '05 season with Andruw?
Well, I think Andruw just came to the park every day, and his attitude never changed. I mean, he just did his work, and I always had a grin on his face, and was whether he was 0 for 4 or 4 for 5, and but 50 home runs, and elevated his game to extremely high. And look, when you hit 50 home runs and you're a Gold Glove winner, come on, man. I mean, it don't get much better than that.
Well, it doesn't get much better than 10 gold gloves and 400 homers either, right? I mean, just the
That's
amount
right.
career numbers that guy put up, tremendous. And I'm so happy that he's in the Hall of Fame. Leo, just in case Andruw watches this video, I wanted to give you an open mic and just wishing him well and whatever you wanted to say directly to Andruw about his Hall of Fame induction.
Well, hopefully I'm going to be there. That's for sure. That's the last Brave maybe in that run. It'll be in the Hall of Fame, and so my message to Andruw is what it's always been. You should win the Fireman of the Year award every year because you saved the most games of anybody in the history of baseball in center field. So that to me is the greatest compliment from a pitching coach that I can give him, and it's also probably the pitchers would say exactly the same thing. So I think in that case, and the other thing that amazed us about Andruw was I never seen, he'd run the balls down the gap, right? Climb the wall, do this, but taking away those line drive base hits to center field with that head first dive and catch. And those were always base hits for years, and now they were outs. And those are the things you remember the most, and his longevity.
Leo, I really appreciate your time, and I always appreciate your expertise on pitching, and as well as your expertise on the Atlanta Braves. To all the analytical nerds out there, you need to listen to this man. And Leo, it's always a pleasure talking to you, buddy.
Okay, and hope to see you up in. You're going to be at Daryl Cheney's.
I will be there. I'm hoping
I'll
you'll be
see
there.
you. I'll
You'll
see
be
you there.
all right. Well, I'll be
All right.
there. Daryl
Okay.
wants me to play this year. I don't know how that's going to go.
Oh, why don't you play? We all
I probably
stand.
will.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not a golfer at heart, but I'll get out there. It'll be fine. Uh,
Yeah. You see how
it'll
many
be
guys say they are golfers and can't play? You're
fair
looking
enough.
at one of them. But we
Fair
have a
enough.
good
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
good.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you and everybody else up there too.
Yeah, we have a good time.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.